Wait.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pulpwood Queen channel. I'm author Tracy Carnes, and I am encouraging everyone to please, if you haven't already done so, do subscribe, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that way you don't miss one single episode of all the wonderful and lively discussions that we have right here on the Pulpwood Queen channel. And now, without further ado, the Pulpwood Queen herself, Kathy L. Murphy.
With tiara on, because as everybody knows, our motto is where tiaras are mandatory and reading good books is the rule. But I'm going to let Tracy slide because she has on a hat. And so did Kathy Ramsberger, who's here tonight with us, an author that I'll let talk in just a minute. Yay! You want to show us your hat, Kathy, that you wore for Halloween? Did we lose her?
There he is. No, I'm here.
There
he is.
Isn't that cute? I love hats. Hats, crowns, you know, you name it. Costume characters, we're into dressing up. But tonight, for those of you out there in the Pulpwood Queen channel land, when you watch this, we've been having a little glitch this fall. For some reason, our authors are forgetting or didn't put it on their calendar or something that they are the featured author for the week. So I'm always scrambling trying to reach them. And unfortunately, I was not able to reach Denise Kiernan, who has our book We Gather Together, which is the perfect book for November because it's a wonderful story. Denise has been a Pulpwood Queen choice in the past, and she does nonfiction books and she does fiction too. She is a wonderful person. Perhaps we'll reschedule and see if we can get her into the program. So tonight, Tracy and I were talking about what we wanted to do, and we decided we have so many updates for Girlfriend Weekend that even if people aren't here tonight, when we put it up on our channel, we can send people there so they can get all the updates. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Over the Moon Girlfriend Weekend Book Club Convention. This is our first book club convention live since 2020. And it is looking to be one of the most stellar girlfriend weekends that we've ever had. It's the only international book club convention in the country. We do an auction every year that helps support the Pat Conroy Literary Center, and they do have a Pat Conroy Book Club convention, but we help sponsor that. So they just had it not too long ago, and we recommend that you all go to that book club convention too. But this one is international, and because we now have the capabilities, and I have learned through all the YouTube instructional videos how to do it as a Zoom convention. We're going to be doing both this year. So if you buy a package to Girlfriend Weekend, you're going to not only get to attend live, but you'll get to attend from anywhere in the world. So we're hoping everybody will sign up at www.thepulpwoodqueens.com. And the biggest questions I'm getting right now are the details. Everybody wants to know the details. First of all, the event is always Martin Luther King weekend, January 13th through the 15th. The 13th is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so we're calling it a staycation vacation. Come early, stay late, because on Friday, we're going to have some extra ticketed events for those that come in on Thursday night, like me and Tracy and all the caravan that's going with me from Texas to Amelia Island, Florida. We're on the beach at the Courtyard Marriott, and they're adjoining Spring Hill Suites. They are adjoining, they aren't two separate. They actually, the convention will be in the Courtyard Marriott, but the suites are on the beach. So they have the same, they share the restaurants, pools, everything. We have group rates, and we are all set we recommend everybody go there because you're not going to have time to go back to your room and do anything because one event rolls into the other. But we're going to give you longer times for lunches so you can explore the island. And then on Friday morning, we're going on a boat ride, a group boat ride. Everybody, it's you pay for your own ticket, but I'm going to get confirmations from everybody who wants to go, and I will be there to make sure. But if you give a confirmation, you've got to give me some way to know that you'll actually be there because I am not paying out of pocket for those who don't show. So I've got quite a few people going, lots of authors. So let us know. It leaves at 10 o'clock. I think we get back sometime before lunch. Everybody's on their own for lunch, but I suggest you go as a group. I'm going to have to zip back to the convention center to make sure everything's set up because at 3 o'clock, I'm doing an event where I'm doing an alcohol ink beach activity where we're going to create a beach frame with beach glass and pearls and all these different things. And then we're going to paint a painting with alcohol ink to go inside. And also we're going to create a beach light. These are going to be for our tables. They'll help mark where you're going to be sitting. It'll take us probably somewhere between an hour and a half to 2. Hopefully we can get it done by an hour and a half. It's 3 to 5, but these will be things that you can take home with you as a souvenir from your weekend. And you might want to take the painting out and put a photograph in of, because we're going to have great opportunities for photo ops. And we may even, I'm working on a special speaker on Friday afternoon. I haven't yet heard back from this person, but it is a biggie. It's going to be amazing. Tracy and I got to hear this author at the Landmarks bookstore in Franklin, Tennessee, and I was absolutely blown away. And so
everybody was blown away.
And we're going to suggest everybody who's listening, go to Facebook and join the Pulpwood Queen party line for Girlfriend Weekend. That is where I'm putting all the updates, besides on our official international page and my page, but for sharing rooms, sharing rides, you know, anything you want to do. I have a lot of authors go, how can I find another author to stay with me or whatever? I go to the Pulpwood Queen party line for Girlfriend Weekend. Share your, say, hey, here's my email. I'm coming in to Jacksonville at this time. Anybody want to share a ride to and from the airport? Anybody want a room with me? And I know Beth Howard was the last author who's got a wonderful new book called World Peace on saving the world by one slice of pie at a time. She's going to be doing a cooking demo. She came to Girlfriend Weekend in the past, and she's been given cooking demos at my annual weekly book club meetings. She's amazing, and she's now going all over the world doing this. Really excited to have Beth back. She just did a book signing and demo in San Diego with another Pulpwood Queen author, Amy Wallen, who also has a new pie book out. Totally different stories, but it's exciting to hear that our authors are pairing up for events, because it seems to me, everybody, that the authors that create events with other authors are getting more attention than if doing it by yourself. So I'll be talking a little bit about what we're going to be doing with that, but I want to do a little recap first. Tracy Carnes and she's an author screenwriter right here in front of us. Laura Bernhardt, who wrote Shadow of the Taj, and Casey Cowers, who has a new book coming out and wrote a celebration of words and another celebration of words, traveled to Nashville, Tennessee to be featured on the Pulpwood Queen Presents panel in the Nashville Public Library. It was well turned out. We had a wonderful presentation, and we had some really cool things happen because we met the owner, Joel and Carol of Landmarks Books in Franklin, which is just 15, 20 minutes away from downtown Nashville. He invited us over for a book signing, and we ended up spending a lot of time in his booth because Kathy Lee Gifford was there. We got to meet her. She was in Adriana Trigiani's last film, the one set in Scotland with Craig Ferguson. So that was very exciting. And we met another author who has written a book called Afternoons with Wayne Flynt, Afternoons with Harper Lee by Wayne Flynt. And he is a historian, professor, and was friends with both Louise and Alice Lee, and didn't really meet Harper Lee until after she had her stroke and was put in the assisted living. And he did over 60 interviews with her. And I found out
they really weren't interviews. They were just, they really weren't
conversations.
They weren't really conversations. Basically, from what I gather, Nell did not want to leave New York. She did not want to leave her friends. She did not want to leave that intellectual stimulation. And she had a stroke. It didn't get her mentally, it got her physically. And her sister Alice, who was the attorney and was now over her, basically getting the guardianship of her, brought her back down to Monroeville, Alabama. And, you know, according to probably Nell, hell. And so,
which was surprising. I had no idea, as much as I know about Harper Lee and her books.
She didn't want to go home. She didn't want to go back there. Her home was New York. And so she was starved for intellectual stimulation. And I believe it was Alice and Louise who basically kind of said, hey, you know, why don't you go visit Nell? And so Wayne and his wife Darty, it was like about a 2 or 3 hour drive for them to go visit her. So it wasn't like they could go there all the time. And they would go and visit Nell in the assisted living where she was. And they did not ask anything.
No, it wasn't like that
at all. They had no agenda other than to basically be a good friend, because they were friends of the family anyway, having spent their careers in Alabama, you know, even though Nell was in New York. And so, you know, they let Nell dictate what, you know, the conversation was. And it could be anything from football to, you know, food, whatever. It was at her. They let her lead it. And that's what
fascinating.
Speaking of Radley.
Radley, named after Boo Radley. But it was fascinating to hear him talk at Landmarks. It was really intimate. And this guy is sharper than a tack, and he had me on the edge of the seat. And it was so interesting. My big question for him, which was the last question of the day, was, you know, I love Go Set a Watching. I had book club members hate it because they said, this isn't the real book, but it is the real book. It's the book that she wrote. When her book went to New York, they suggested that she write it from a child's viewpoint, and the whole book was redone. But in order to understand the real story, you really need to read both the books, because everything was based upon what really happened in her life as a child. And I think, I don't know, time will tell what people will think of Go Set a Watchman, and the title comes from the Bible, by the way. It's, I can't remember the exact verse, or, you know.
What's interesting about the book, about Afternoons with Harper Lee, is that Wayne Flynt, he's a PhD and he's a historian. And so he gives you a lot of history about the Lee family and actually the Finch family. And the Finch family were a real family that were related to them. So she pulled these names from her own family. So it's, you know, I think we always kind of knew that she wrote from experience,
Yes.
but I don't think we knew how autobiographical that book was, To Kill a Mockingbird, until actually listening to Dr. Flynt discuss it and discuss his and like I said, sometimes they talk about football, they talk about
roll tide,
football.
Yeah, and that was very funny.
It was extremely funny, and
they were rivals in in the teams that they supported, so it was fascinating. I had no idea she had that. And the biggest surprise for me was I found out that she was such a Jane Austen fan.
Yes.
I did not know that. That had never come up in any of the readings but she was a real Jane Austen fan. And actually, Darty, his wife, and her connected on really, I think, a really deeper level. And she was a very interesting, Wayne's wife was as interesting to me as Wayne was, even though she's no longer here in this world. But it's a fascinating story. And if anybody loves To Kill a Mockingbird as much as me, they are going to want to read this book and devour it, because I've been hanging on every word. I read it over. It's not one that you read fast. It's one that you read slow to kind of let it all, taking it all in. I mean, we all idolize Atticus Finch and, of course, Gregory Peck, but to find out who the real man was, I don't know. I found it more real. The Atticus Finch character was just too unreal for me. He was just, I didn't have a father like that. I would have loved to have a father like that, but she loved her family and her mother and her dad, but it was a little bit different. So I hope everybody reads it. And those are two of the really neatest things that happened, was being at Landmark Books, their booth.
And Rick Bragg.
Well, yeah, but before we get to that, I wanted to mention right across the row from us was Kim Davis of Madville Publishing. So Kim had a big, beautiful blanket done with 3 of our authors were on her book blanket, showing that they were Pulpwood Queen Book Club selections, and they were just across from each other. We ran into a lot of people we knew, and one of the people we ran into, ironically, at the Landmarks Books was, I saw this young woman with her mother, and I thought, I know her, but you know how when you're out of place, and she goes, Kathy, is that you? And it was Lacey Carpenter, who is an East Texas musical artist, award-winning musical artist that has moved to Nashville, and she's been nominated for a Grammy. And her song, she's a songwriter too. Her song that was #4, she just emailed me today, has gone to #1 that she wrote. So let's all hope. She's coming to Girlfriend Weekend and she's going to perform. So we're very excited. She's a fiddle player and she is an entertainer. The last time I saw her play was when Bryn McLean was on tour in East Texas, and we had an event over in Bullard outside on this big plantation home, and Lacey was there performing prior to the book talk and book signing, and it was just the coolest thing. Everybody's going to just love Lacey. So she's super excited, and hope you'll go to her page. She's actually changing her name to Lacey Blue, but her name is Lacey Carpenter. She hails from Tyler, Texas. So hope everybody goes to her page and welcomes her to Girlfriend Weekend. She's so excited because I found out both her and her mom are the biggest readers. I go, do you guys read? I go, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So the next exciting thing we got to go to was Rick Bragg, who I never miss Rick at any book festival if he's speaking. And his talk was, Tracy, I've talked about him all the time, but how would you explain Rick's?
He's just a treasure.
He
And
is an American storyteller.
he's just a great storyteller. And he had the audience, it was just an almost packed auditorium. And everybody just hung on every word he said. And the book that he was discussing is called The Speckled Beauty. And I'm currently reading it right now. And it's one of those too that you don't want to just sit and read, real quick. You need to read it slow and savor it, because it's beautifully written. It's wonderful. And he is talking about this dog that he and his brother watched, and was running in a pack, and they live out at Possum Trot, Alabama, and which is just out in the boonies. And this is where all the people throw away their dogs, and they form packs. And this dog was running in a pack, and then one day it got thrown away by the pack, and he brought this dog into the house. And these are the stories of how that dog has just kind of weaseled into his family's life. And it's just beautiful. And I mean, it's a real dog. It's his dog.
The amazing thing about the story, about whether he talks about It's All Over But the Shouting, the one about his mother, or his daddy, or anything, or the young woman soldier who went to Afghanistan, every story, he can make you 1 minute laugh so hard you just can't catch your breath, and then the next moment you're just in tears. Because, in fact, other than he's up there with Pat Conroy to me. Pat Conroy and Rick Bragg are two of the greatest Southern storytellers I've ever heard, and nobody can touch your heart more than those two authors. And Rick was wonderful. We got to talk to him afterwards, and he was absolutely lovely and gracious, and get our book signed. And anyway, so read The Speckled Dog. It's really great. But we got to meet a lot of authors. In fact, if you saw my post, you'll see that I came home with every author there was giving me a book, right?
Yes.
So when we got ready to leave, I thought, I don't even know if I can carry this bag. And Casey Cowers said, I'll carry it. And he picked it up.
I don't think he knew.
I don't think he understood. He picked it up, and then he said, he put it down. He goes, I got it. But we were parked at the Nashville Public Library, and we were, it was kind of a maze to get to the level we were on. And finally, when we got to the library, I could tell that his fingers had lost circulation. So
I think that some of my books were in it as well.
Yeah, I took one handle and he took the other, and somehow we made it. And I didn't let him carry it into the parking garage. I said, you've done your duty. And I said, I owe you big time. So Casey Cowers, for those who don't know, is an author from Orlando, Florida, and he will be my co-host for our Girlfriend Weekend International Pulpwood Queens and Timber Guys Book Club Reading Nation Convention in Amelia Island. And he has a new book that he announced to people there, but I'm not been given permission to announce it. But it's going to be a book club selection, and it's going to be an international bestseller, considering the subject. And you'll be hearing it about soon. As soon as it's ready, we'll probably do a big public announcement, but it's going to be great. And we're very excited about his book. And that leads me to Tracy. Before we get to that, I just want to tell everybody we have 3 days of Girlfriend Weekend. Friday, we have some extra things. If you come in, we're going to do, and it's, each one pays for their own way. But we start that night with our meet and greet, and it's going to be at the convention center. And the theme is going to be Bollywood, where anything from India, because we're going to launch Anju Gatani's Winds of Fire series, which I didn't even realize it till about 3 or 4 months ago, that this series she has been working on for 20 years. Her husband told me when all of her 50 family members and friends showed up for our book club meeting. And for those authors that are listening to this and book club members, y'all, you need to go back and watch that, because all her family members and friends from all over the world, Hong Kong, Malaysia, India, all parts of India, Malibu, Atlanta, they all gave testimony, including both her sons and her husband and her mother and a guy who was just like her Papa G. And it was brought to tears. I was really brought to tears by the book club meeting, because I just sat back and listened, because to hear these people talk about her and how she had thrown her whole life into this project. I hope everybody understands that if you spend 20 years writing on a book series and you're a pulpwood queen, we will do something for you too. But it is going to be announced there, and we're going to have some fun surprises. She's bringing swag from India. She's having specially made. Her mother is commissioned for these scarves to match the Winds of Fire, banner. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have some drawings and maybe some more surprises. And we will introduce every author that is there. First, the 2022 Pulpwood Queens, and any author who's just come because they want to support our book club, even if they don't have a new book. And we will also be introducing our 2023 authors. So it's going to be a big night. A lot of people go, well, do I have to be there? And I go, well, if you want the book club members to know who you are, you need to participate in all 3 days, because we'll introduce the authors on Friday night. We will also introduce the authors on Saturday night at our great big ball of hair ball. The theme is By the Light of the Silvery Moon. We want you all to wear all white, silver, moon-like. We want it to all reflect, just how over the moon we are about our authors. And we'll be introducing all our authors there. And we're going to be having some contests. We're going to be having our queen of the over the moon, the biggest hair, hire the hair. And we're going to be having a sexy reading contest for our timber guys. And on Sunday, we've got a lot of publisher insiders coming, and we will be having our Academy Awards Oscar-like party, Oscar-esque. So we ask that you wear something stunningly Pulpwood Queen-esque to the awards ceremony. And all the ones that are winning, we'll introduce all the 2022 authors, and then we're going to announce the winners for each category. And I have some special guests coming. In fact, I just found out right before I came on, I just got an email, and Cassandra King Conroy will be there Friday night at our author meet and greet, and she'll be sharing a few words. Her last book was Tell Me the Story. We do our big fundraiser for the Pat Conroy Literary Center, of which we support wholeheartedly. There's Radley. Radley's happy now that you picked him up. He doesn't recognize you with your sunglasses on. And so she's going to be there, and I hope everybody will be at the Friday night meet and greet. And Saturday and Sunday will be panels with keynotes, and we have everybody from Ann Hood, Adriani Trigiani. There's not quite a dozen, but we've got a lot of keynote speakers. And somebody said to me, well, isn't a keynote speaker the one speaker? I go, well, the Pulpwood Queen breaks all the rules. We have so many authors that are shooting up like rockets. And we know that if people know they're coming, then they'll get exposed to all of our newbie authors. So we try to showcase our authors that are rising stars or rising like the moon. And we hope that everybody knows that when you come, all the authors are on the same heavenly playing list. We're all equals, but we do know that the bigger names do draw in people to come. So please share with all your fan base, readers, get all your book clubs. All my largest book club told me they're coming from Beaufort to Houston, Texas. My Houston, Texas girls are coming in early to volunteer. Now that my executive director has stepped down, I lost the volunteer base. So we have them coming in, and then the Pat Conroy Center is helping us, and Tracy will be helping us, and Casey, and everybody's going to chip in because it's your party, and we create this specifically for you. Now, the last thing we're going to do is announce our 2023 books of the year, and we hope every author who is selected consents to be there, because what makes us different from any other book club in the country is we bring the authors into the conversation. And I go, honestly, you truly do not totally understand a story until you hear it from the person who wrote the story. And that we learned from Wayne Flynt of talking to Harper Lee, and that we've learned from Kathy Ramsberger as we've interviewed her through this year for her latest book that we picked, and she's got a new one coming up. But we really want all the authors to be there. So that makes the readers want to come, because they want to meet you and get your books autographed and hang out with you. So invite yourself to have lunch with a group, sit with other, move around and sit with other people. And nobody's a stranger at Girlfriend Weekend. And if you ever feel like you're coming by yourself and you're alone, hang out with me. And I guarantee you, within a very short period of time, a chapter, an author will adopt you or invite you to sit at the table. We're a very welcoming group, and we want everybody to join us. Now, I've got Tracy here tonight. Tracy has on a very unusual outfit. It was 77 when I was driving home from Dallas today. So I
said that, the heat got cut off at the house, and I'm shivering.
So I just took a photo of Tracy because Tracy has finished a new book, and it's going to be coming out, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Tracy, and tell them about your book and what we're doing.
Okay. So my book is called The Darlings of Sundance, and it is coming out at the first of the year, and it is set at the Sundance Film Festival, hence the glasses, hence the scarf, the hat. No, I did not go as Ignatius J. Riley for Halloween. Wait. And and here's my pass, my you have to have a credential to walk around Sundance and get into all the venues and everything. And so this is what I'm dressed as. I'm dressed as my character that I have in my book. And one of the bookstores named in the novel, I used a lot of the same venues and a lot of the same places at Sundance, because Sundance is so very iconic, and it's been around forever. And there are places on Main Street that are very iconic and that center around all the activity and around the festival. And one of them is a little bookstore called Dolly's Books. And I love that bookstore. And I even have my author having a signing there in it. My main character is an author that gets to go to the Sundance Film Festival. So she's having a signing, and it doesn't really go very well for her at the very beginning. And I'm having hopefully will not have the same signing as my
scenario, yeah.
But I am having a book signing at Dolly's Books opening weekend of Sundance.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
And
that's not it. We've got more people joining us.
And we have lots more people joining us. Apparently, this woman over here, Kathy L. Murphy's coming with me. And it's going to be basically a Pulpwood Queen Presents kind of thing. And, so I'm not going to be alone at my signing. It's going to be an event. And one of my good friends, he had a movie at Sundance that kind of started my Sundance journey of going back. And, I helped him promote his first movie. And over the course of the years that we were going, you know, we always kind of helped each other out, promoting, you know, projects and everything. And his mother is Catherine Patterson, and Dave actually left in 2006. He stayed at our condo, and he left to go and film the Disney movie Bridge to Terabithia, which was based on his mother's book. And then the next year we came back again and we promoted the movie and everything. So we had a great time with it all. And he has graciously said yes, and to coming and being on a panel with me talking about the Sundance experience. And another friend of mine is Tim Harms. Tim is a prolific producer in his own right, but he is also the producer for Neil LaBute, the playwright, and and the filmmaker. And Tim's had 2 films in Sundance. So he also said, yeah, any excuse to get to Sundance, I'm there. So he has also graciously said, hey, I will be on your panel too. I think I just want to be on the panel. I don't think they really care that it's me. No. And so we're just going to make just this great experience of it. We're going to be basically, you know, Pulpwood Queens, you know, take on Sundance. And it's going to be me and Kathy, Dave and Tim, and I believe Lisa and Laura and William Bernhardt are going to come. And Casey Cowers has said that he might come. And so it's just going to be Pulpwood Queen action at Sundance. I don't know that they'll probably have to shut the whole festival down and never let us come back ever again. But I think it'll be fun.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Parties.
The Pulpwood Queen started as a book club, but as I read these books, I visualize them in my mind as a movie. So when I read Tracy's book, I said, oh my gosh, I've never read a book about a film festival. I've never read a book about this experience. And I'm thinking if we make it a habit of going, then maybe we can take the Pulpwood Queen books to film. All of them. I'd like to see all of our books go to film. And, you know, we are seeing it happen with Reese Witherspoon and other celebrities who have started their own production companies. So we're looking at the bigger picture for all of the authors out there. We don't just talk the talk. We're going to, I won't say walk the walk. We're driving literally from Girlfriend Weekend to Park City, Utah. We're stopping only long enough to throw our summer clothes in Tracy's house and pick up our winter bags.
And go to the bathroom. That's pretty much
go to the bathroom.
That's it. That's all the time we have.
Yeah, it's the very next
week. And then we drive. And then we're just, you know, go northwest, young women, old women.
And the reason why Tracy has on this outfit is I really needed a better shot because I'm working on the book cover for her new book. And it's, since the book is semi-autobiographical, and since this is what she wore to Sundance, this image of the book character is going to be on the book. And I even have my own contribution besides doing the art. I gave her those sunglasses. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about the crazy red leopard sunglasses that match her red, you know, hat. So
and the scarf. I love the scarf. I got the scarf when we went to Fairhope.
Yep.
And I love it.
But what the deal is, now that I've had my surgery, I'm doing well and everything, I'm working really hard and going to all the book festivals and then working into as many film festivals as we possibly can to let people know about the wonderful, you know, currently everybody's looking for a great story. And all they need to do is go to look at our list because we have the best books for film. So we're going to really be working on that. And we hope everybody really starts participating now with all our book club meetings, because if this goes, we have a documentary film team coming this year from Orlando that will be filming. We have a team for light, sound, and music coming from Texas to make us look really good with all the things that we're going to be doing with the mics and the sound and everything that we're doing with Zoom. So we need everybody there. This is your party. And as I've been saying all along, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. If anybody told me that for 2.5 now, almost 3 years, I'd be alone in my cabin running this book club from Zoom, I would have told them you are out of your mind. I don't know how to do that. But I do know that I feel like, you know, I've got to get this really done in my lifetime. And I'm hopefully, we'll still be here tomorrow. So it's never too late to join. It's never too late to jump back in. It's never too late to get all your friends to join with you. They still have rooms at the hotel. We still have tickets. It's filling up fast. We've got a lot of authors still signing on board, and I'll have the list done by December to let all the authors know who have been selected, but we won't make the announcement until right before Girlfriend Weekend because it's more of a punch to let everybody know all at the same time. Now, we also will be sending out this probably pretty quickly, the voting ballots for books of the year, and everybody has to vote individually. So I'll be sending out a mass email to all book club members only, whether you're an author, a reader, whether you're in or out of the country, everybody gets to vote for their favorite book of the year, international book of the year, and bonus book of the year. And I'm even including some books that I've chosen for Mama Cat's book club and for our Cool Cats book club. And then we'll have the Doug Marlette Award, and then we'll also be announcing we're doing this big silent auction. So all authors need to bring a signed item that they can put in the silent auction. And we think that this year it'll go a lot better now that we're doing it live, because doing it online is tough.
I'm donating a signed copy of Afternoons with Harper Lee. I am also will hopefully get from my buddy Dave a signed copy of Bridge to Terabithia,
which is amazing because Catherine Patterson is getting up there. And for all of you that are coming, I've been told that if you all wear your tiaras and your shirts, which let me move it. We have official shirts. I'm going to have to order a new one. I ordered this, I haven't even worn it. I'll have it for sale there. But it's got our Pulpwood Queen Girlfriend Weekend in Amelia Island. And these are really fun to get signed. We have book bags. We have cup holders. We have wine holders. We have everything you can possibly imagine on our swag store on our website. And we hope everybody will wear them. So when we have that final group picture at the end of the weekend or at sometime during the Sunday afternoon, I'm asking everybody, please wear them. And you can wear them over and over. We don't care. We've got multiple colors. We've got them for guys and girls. And we've got all kinds of merchandise, cups, mugs, everything. So please be there. We have vendors that are going to be coming, book vendors. I'm going to have a booth there with Pulpwood Queen's things and my art. If anybody wants a booth, they need to contact me because we have limited space. And we picked up a couple of guys that are coming to Girlfriend Weekend that are going to have a booth there they're actually from Charleston, believe it or not, but we met them at the at the state capitol there in Nashville, Tennessee, but they're going to come and do a booth. And I'm thinking some of the
really cool stuff.
Independent publishers are going to be coming. I have an author who's rented a booth just for herself because she has so many books. And so we're really excited about it. And we hope all of you are as excited as we are because it takes a full year. I had a lot of glitches this year trying to pull this off because, halfway in, when I was going to surgery, I lost my executive director who had been helping with a lot of this. And when she left, all that information left too. So I've got it all under control. Casey's going to Amelia Island and he's going to meet with the people at a time. So we're good to go, everybody. If anybody has a question, go to the posting. I'll put this up on the Pulpwood Queen channel. Email me any question, or go to the Kathy L. Murphy page or the Pulpwood Queen party line for Girl Weekend, because that's where we're going to be sharing a lot of information for just the people that are coming. I will be sending out a notice to all people who bought packages again. I've already sent out one, but I'm going to send another one. The packages are final, non-refundable, but if you want to sell them to another person, if something happens and you can't come, you are welcome to do so. But if you don't notify me of who you sold it to, they won't be able to get in the door, because we'll be working on name tags. That's the last thing we do. And we want to make sure we have everybody who's coming on the list. So, Kathy, any updates you have from you about your books, since you were so kind enough to come to this meeting tonight?
I'm really glad I came to this meeting because I found out a lot about Girlfriend and Timber Guy Weekend, right?
Right.
And as somebody that has been both live and online, they're both wonderful. And there's just something about giving somebody that you've made friends with, either a writer or a reader. And if you're a writer, you're also a reader, a big hug, or at least a wave, and
Fist bump.
and the live interaction is just fantastic. And I can't wait for the evening events. As far as my update, I've finished the second draft of my third book. My galleys are somewhere in the printing process for the second book, and I'm getting a few neighborhood book clubs interested, and the big push, the pre-launch push, will probably start sometime after Christmas. So I'd like for it to start before Christmas, but I'm waiting on the go ahead. So the first book is called The Shores of Our Souls. The second book is called 1,000 Flying Things, for anybody that's interested. It's based on a South Sudanese proverb that's like the English version, better a bird in the hand than two in the bush. This is better a locust in the hand than 1,000 flying things. And it opens in southern Sudan, and there are the first book was about romantic love, and this is about familial love. And I hope someday to finish with something about universal love. My third book, I'm switching to memoir for a minute, and it's about my 18, 19, 20-year-old life, growing up in a family that had been middle class, that went to, my mother got sick, and we went on food stamps, and I didn't know whether I would make it to college. And I did anyway. And I was on a full ride. And then I met a boy. That's what it's about.
That sounds like a good story to me. Yay.
And in my fun times, I'm working on a time travel novel. I started it 3 years ago, but I put it aside because I was working on these other two books. So I'd really like to publish that one too, but we'll see.
And like I said, every one of these stories would make great movies. So we're going to be, hopefully, our crazy Shah Rukh Khan Film Club did not air last night, or Halloween night, because I didn't have any internet in Dallas. And then we had another weird thing happen. The film that I picked, they took it off Netflix. So the only place you could watch it, the Shah Rukh Khan film, was on YouTube, and there were no English subtitles. So, but there's a new film. So I'm going to reschedule it, named Pardes, Pardes, that has never been available, that just debuted. So I'm going to switch it to that one. And I hope everybody will go on and watch it. And then Tracy and I'll reschedule when we're going to have that showing. But there's nothing better than watching the books that we read made to film. So we're working really hard on that. And we hope that every single one of you get a chance to at least, have that. And that's what we're really working on. So in the meantime, if I'm going to a book festival, I want to know who wants to go, because I invited many authors to Nashville and they turned me down. That's far to go. And I don't know. And I'm going, don't turn down. Don't turn down. That's one of the largest book festivals in the
I'll
world.
go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just putting in my hat. Putting in my hat.
I already got an email from Marilyn, goes, I'm going next year. And I go, well, you come on, girl, because they really do want to hear stories from all over. They do feature a lot of Nashville authors, but we feature a lot of local authors too. So, but just added Tamara Bolden. She's got a new book about the 99th year. Her father is 99 years old and the family has been together, working together. It's going to be one of the most inspirational books you've ever read. I've got so many books that have been sent to me this year that it was really hard. I will tell everybody that's listening, if you get me a book after December 1st, it'll go into 2024 reading, because just to get through the 4 stacks I've got on this chair over there now, between now and December 1st, is going to be a struggle. But I pretty much got the list fixed. But it's not too late. So if you want to come, get me your book, go to the Authors Join Here page on www.thepulpwoodqueens.com and say goodbye to Radley. Radley's saying, time for me, mama. Time for me. That's our little rescue dog that Tracy rescued. And Kathy, I'm really excited about your new book. And if you need that stamp ahead of time for the book, let me know, because for those listening, she is going to be a book club selection. Oh, gosh, I let it slip. Oh, well, that's what happens when you come to
now if people ask, I can say Kathy said. So
just watch this episode. Just watch this episode.
That's what they have to do. That's what they have to do.
But that's what Katie did. The fact that you came to hear me speak, I'm going to tell you the name of my book. And I think everybody was just like, oh my gosh, because he's known for interviewing some of the best authors in the world. And this one is very high profile right now because he recently passed away. So it will be
a long time ago, but
yeah, I know. But
but his book has been at the forefront of
the film industry for some time.
Yeah, it's now it's probably the best limited series I've ever seen, ever.
I have to say it's up there with the top, I've got some top 3. I love that one. And, but we're going to have a lot of fun, you guys. And so rest up and stay at the hotel, because you're not going to have time to drive anywhere. You want to park your car. They've got 2 restaurants. There's others within walking distance, and, Uber it, man. That's what we plan on doing. So we'll see you there. I'll be there Thursday. I'll be staying through Monday, and we're headed to Park City, Utah. So never in a million years would I've ever thought I would get to go to the Sundance Film Festival. Tracy made it happen. And I've
several times, and
I've never had better luck. I just called Dolly's bookstore and said, can we do this? And they said, heck yeah, let's do it. So
yeah, and then I just asked my friends. I asked my friends who are alumni, and they're like, we didn't need a reason to come, but yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be that. I think that particular, talk is just going to be wonderful, because they're both just terrific filmmakers and storytellers, and they they love a good story just as, much as, anybody else does. And they're engaging, and they're fun, and they're fun to hang out with at Sundance. And I think it's just going to be a fabulous event that Kathy's putting together.
And Marley Rusoff, my agent's coming back, and she's got some authors you're going to want to meet, man.
Yeah.
You're going to want to meet. We've got Jonathan Hope. We've got Cassandra King Conroy is coming in now, and Lacey Carpenter is going to perform. And we've got lots of surprises too.
And I'm going to change my name because Kathy said that the really big names are the ones that draw in the people. So I'm going to make my name a lot bigger.
Is that the secret? Does it have to be bigger, or does it have to be just longer? Because I think I've got the longest one.
Make my name like Tracy Lee Karnaskowski Wazazuski.
Well, the thing about Kathy's last name is you never forget it. Once you learn how to spell it, it's like encyclopedia. You never forget how to spell Ramsberger. So I've got her down.
Well, people do, but thank you for not forgetting.
I try. I am definitely a flawed queen, but I really try. But you got to really understand that, I've been alone in a cabin like a hermit for almost 3 years, and now I'm out. I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I'm bouncing.
It really is.
That's so fantastic.
Girlfriend goes to Nashville, and she was like,
I'm telling you,
everybody else is probably like that too to her, because you are just.
I had people come up. Can we have our picture with you guys? And we go, yeah. And we go, we loved it, and it was so much fun to see old friends and meet all these new people. Young people would come up to me and I love your hair, and I go, well, get ready, you guys, because it's getting ready to go for some new colors, and I'm going to shock everybody. But I was thinking about maybe letting it go back to blonde, and I thought, nah, not yet. I'm not there yet. So we will see you down the road. Go to thepulpwoodqueens.com, plural, and read every page, everybody. I put everything on there that I think people don't know, and I'm going to be doing a lot of updates, and I'm going to be posting on, but I'm going to be sending out the votes. So be sure and vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain who won. And there's nothing wrong with voting for yourself for a category. It's just like the Oscars. You can vote for yourself. So anyway, Tracy, thank you for dressing up. Thank you for letting me get another picture. I'll be posting some pictures from Halloween. I did not get to be the blob, you all. My grandson, who's 3.5, changed his mind. He actually told me to come as me. And what's funny is everybody thought I was in a Halloween costume. Yeah, it's true.
That's you.
Yeah, this is just the way I dress. So anyway, you'll get to see what he wore and some crazy shots. So have a wonderful November. Keep in touch if you have any questions, thepulpwoodqueen@gmail.com. And here we go, all together, hand in hand. Girlfriend Weekend Over the Moon 2023, Amelia Island or bust.
Everybody come.
Tonight. Thank you, Kathy, for coming. Bye.
It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it. Great to see you both after your tour.
Kathy.
Now there'll be more.
Oh, we'll be dragging home, but that's okay. You won't see us then. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.